All right. What's up, everybody? We've got Dark in the top right here, playing a best of 3 straight from the GSL Group B against Bunny. And he's going for his famous 3-hatchery gasless build. It's a very greedy build order. We'll see if Bunny can punish it. We'll go check Bunny's opening build order in a moment, now that he pulls back as the queen's out. Bottom left side of the map. Early second gas. So Bunny is not going for the quick third command center build order off this Reaper opening. And he's just going to harass here. Seeing that fast third hatchery, I'm surprised he doesn't jump into the main, actually. And the fact that Dark's pulling both queens to the natural, I guess he just wants to protect the creep tumors that badly. Isn't too worried about a single Reaper jumping in the main base. It's fair enough. Single Zerg's going to poke out for a scout. Back at home, quick starport on the way for Bunny. Tech Lab on the barracks also. Bunny's a master of 2-base timings, but against a Dark that's probably going to go 3-base Roach, he almost always does. Usually I think it's about 4 minutes. It's about 4 minutes, 4:20, something like that. He often around that point takes 3 or 4 gases and a Roach Warren all about the same time. The gases normally go down just a little bit of ahead of it. So I think you can see here he's saturated on 2 bases. Yeah, Roach Warren goes down immediately and he starts taking all the gases. Rather than rallying drones all the way down to this third and having to have them travel so far, he's like, well, as these new drones pop out on these bases, I might as well just take these gases and transfer them to the gases so that I don't need to run my workers in between my bases. It's quite an efficient build order, but these first 4 Hellions are known to cause a lot of trouble. Why are the Hellions going home? Oh, he really should be diving with his first 4 Hellions. In my opinion, this build order is always weak to 4 Hellions diving in with the Reaper. There's almost no way for the queens to completely block it, especially if you lure them out of position and then quickly rotate around the other side. Bunny's missing a bit of an opportunity there, and he is indeed doing a 2-base timing. Not a big surprise. Bunny's a man who I think often picks his build order before the game starts. Dark's build order should be a hard counter to this build order, but we'll see how it plays out in actuality. There's always a lot of details, and Bunny, famous for, of course, upsetting guys like Cyril and Reyna multiple times last year. Was it last year? No, so it was actually 2022, wasn't it? Kind of the second half of 2022 was when Bunny, you know, he almost won that Atlanta 2022. He was so very close, but Hero managed to reverse all that series, wrestle it away from him despite, I think it was 3-1 in Bunny's favor at one point. Hero ended up winning 4-3. But yeah, he beat Cyril, big tournaments. He beat Reyna at big tournaments. And he did it with a lot of 2-base pushes. He loves Hellion Banshee into 5 racks Marine Tank all in. It's a good build. But Dark usually gets such an economic lead off this opening that it's hard to really contest with. I mean, look at that, guys. It's 5 minutes. His third's oversaturated. He's going up to 4 gases now. Dark will no doubt be trying to go 66 drones. He does move across with some roaches. Looks like he killed the Reaper there. Banshee rotates to the right side, and Dark's just going to run away. Unlikely to even get a single roach kill, as those queens could move forward to protect that. Stim's done. Oh, he's building 2 more tech labs. He's going to go for a Marauder heavy 2-base all-in. What in the hell? That is bizarre. I mean, I get it. You're against roaches. You kind of want more Marauders, but he's only building Marines right now, which is... And he's queuing up more Marines. I think this is misclicks. And he hasn't looked back at his production. I don't believe a 2-base all-in can really be optimized with Marauder production, guys. Oh, that's unfortunate for Bunny. A huge mistake here in a crucial moment. Remember, this is, I think this might be the loser's match. So it's definitely an elimination match in this entire tournament. You have to win to keep your hopes alive of getting out of the GSL Group B. Link speed's on the way, 1-1 melee carapace. Dark is on 70 workers. He's been so greedy that he might just get overwhelmed by the numbers. That being said, if he can defend while building 7... He's still droning! He's making an infestation pit. Dark did not scout at all this game. Dark is playing ridiculously blind. And honestly, Bunny deserves to get the win just because Dark is so greedy. Bunny's hitting a pretty tight timing, even though he messed up with the tech labs. That doesn't really slow down the reinforce that much just yet. Banshee goes down to the bile, and Dark going double upgrades, Baneling Nest, Infestation Pit, and droning his 4th base. Just way too greedy. He's going to have to pull out some of that Dark magic to get back in this game. He's also attacking with slow Zerglings right now. So he started going into slow Zerglings rather than Mass Roach before Link Speed was even made. And that's going to cost him big time. Surprisingly, he does actually break through the first army, but it's not enough to kill the rest of the units rallying forward. Those tanks, one of them does fall. Another tank should just barely go down, but Dark has taken massive losses to get here. He's also only up 7 workers now. He's got 4 workers on that right side. And he is trying desperately to hang on. A few drones coming in, 10 more roaches as well. Concussive shells does start, and the Marauder production's finally started. The fact that it's only now tells me that Bunny looked home, went, oh my god, did I accidentally build tech labs? And he's decided, well, I might as well make the most of it and queue up a few Marauders. He did stim and combat shields both off the first tech lab, which is why he didn't need second and third tech lab. 3 tech labs is crazy. Normally it's 1 tech lab for both upgrades and then 4 reactors. Occasionally you see someone mix in a second tech lab, but very rare in this matchup where it's all about firepower. Honestly, if Dark survives and gets back in this game, I will be kind of stunned. But you got to realize he was so greedy in the early game that even though he took a lot of damage, and it was a massive amount of damage, maybe he can do something. Bunny's like rallying onto creep right now though, so Bunny needs to clean his play up. This is very sloppy of him. He should be rallying to maybe here. Yeah, that's better. So he does fix it up. He's going to group everything on the front and start pushing forward. Bailey Nest being rebuilt. Did the infestation pit finish? It looks like, yeah, it did. Rather than a Bailey Nest, I kind of wish he just gets an infestor or 2 out here and tries to maybe land those nice fungals. Bunny's going to have a good conservative tank position back there. Stims a big pack of the bio forward. Nice micro there. And the roaches and the ravagers are trying to just kite backwards, you know, not really fighting into range of the tanks. Doing a good job of buying time. 1 infestor is indeed on the way right now for Dark. The roaches and the ravagers trying to hang on. A few biles to zone things out could be good. Also, if he could run some ravagers here, he could bile both of those siege tanks. You need a lot of ravagers to make that happen. I don't know if... Oh, Dark splitting to the left. He's getting ready for a bit of a flanky flank. Queens and ravagers. Roaches coming in from all 2 sides. But, oh, he's not able to get in range of the tanks. Does land a bile on a marine, which is something. That's a lot of bio. Fungal! Oh, it does hit the front of the marines. Remember, these tanks in the back are really, you can see, I'm selecting those tanks so you can see the white lines of where their range goes to. Those little white pips, those little dots. He's going to attack that third base. Third base will go down. Behind this, there is a run-by coming in, but we're going to watch the main fight because that's more important. The infestor derps in and gets taken out. The tank position is strong. Looks like the Roach or Ling run by gets cleaned up. 6 SCVs go down at home. 2-2's on the way right now for Dark. He's trying to hang on, trying to get back into Ling Bane and Baneling speed. But the tanks and the bio have him pinned. Dark has transferred drones to that right side base. He's got 9 workers over there still mining. He's got to transfer a few more of them. Find a way to maybe flank these tanks from the right like I was talking about. If you could split those Ravagers down there, I actually think he'd be very effective. Oh, very cute move. But Bunny quick to dodge there with those unsieged tanks. 1-1 upgrades for Bunny, 1-2 now for Dark. So Dark does have the extra carapace advantage. Biles spreading across the entire force. I do like that spread of the Biles, but unfortunately the second tank does still weather all of it. The Biles keeping him back. He's out of medevac juices. Bunny's going to keep trying to push in, but every stim, he does not get those hit points returned. You can see that his army is incredibly low on hit points. Dark, though, down 16 army supply. Bunny still all in on 2 base. I'd like to see Bunny lift that main, move it down to that third so that he can maintain his income and his production. Biles going across. He stims forward instead into those Biles. Few Biles land across those units. One of those units, siege tanks, does get taken out. There's just not enough for Dark, though, I don't think. I don't think he ever breaks the push completely, even though he does get a few good Biles. Takes out a medevac, almost gets the tank, but the third Bile barely misses. And Dark there opens with a greedy build and follows it up with some ridiculously greedy play. At the 6-minute mark, Dark is in a winning position. All he needs to do is mass Roach Ravager. Going melee carapace is a huge mistake, but he's just not scouting. And all he needed to do was morph an Overseer, fly it through, and he would have seen, hey, there's no third command center, there's 5 barracks. But when you play no Ling speed, you don't have Lings to scout, you need to use your Overseer to scout. And him not doing that, and just blindly going for Infestation Pit, preparing for a hive, droning his 4th base, it's ridiculously greedy. 66 workers was already a big 24 worker lead. Because his opening was so efficient, he could have got away with it. But to then go up to the 70, 75 worker count, completely blind, heading towards a hive, this was silly greed for Dark, and he gets caught out. Alright, well, how the hell does he keep making this work? Bunny in the bottom right. sticking to his guns in game 1 and doing a 2-base timing. I think we know why. It's because Dark was disgustingly greedy. Dark is going a pool first. No gas. Interesting. Okay, Dark is... Is it just me? When I see Dark do this, I'm thinking he goes 18 hatch, immediately into a gas, Roach Warren, and just does the old, I hope you don't SCV scout. I'm going to try and hit you with like 5 roaches, maybe a Ravager or 2. Gas goes down right after. Hatchery gas. It looks like the Lambo 5 Roach Rush. Builds 2 more drones up to 18 supply, as is standard. Does he go instant Roach Warren? He does! Oh my god, Dark's down a game in an elimination match. And you know what counters this build? Hard counters it, guys? If Bunny SCV scouts. If Bunny sends an SCV across, goes, oh, you went hatchery early. Yes, he's gonna be so well prepared. But Bunny's just not scouting. He's gonna wait for the Reaper. So Bunny's doing a bit of a greedier build. And Dark specifically has done his homework, researched how Bunny plays, and is looking to punish that. So these Lings, notice he's queuing those. So he goes around the top. And then as the Reaper kind of arrives at his side of the map, he's going to run in and try to kill the SCV. If he can delay the expansion, that's great. And then hopefully the Reaper comes home to deal with that, doesn't notice the 5 roaches slip out of the base. And if Bunny can't get up a few cyclones or something, or, you know, to help deal with it, those 5 roaches can do so much damage. Thanks so much, Griggs. Appreciate the kind comment there in the chat. It's only 3 roaches for now, but the 4th one and then the 5th one out of the natural is usually the way you do it. And you notice you build the 5th roach on the natural. Oh, there we go. Because that one rallies closer to the enemy base. So by the time these guys rally out, they kind of all join up. Lings do run in on the natural, but good micro. Look at that. Pulls the SCV off, gets a new one down. Reaper does come home. So the Lings are trying to split up to distract the Reaper. In this scenario, your Reaper should go straight back through the middle to try and spot the roaches. Bunny... Oh god, Bunny's not checking for it. He's got to pull this Marine to the high ground. If he loses his Marine as well, this could be a disaster. He's going to have so little time to respond. Now, I am surprised Dark's showing it with just 2 roaches. Reaper sees it. Okay, he's going to pull to the high ground. Immediately cancels the barracks. Starts building Cyclone. Why only 1 though? Okay, there we go. Second Cyclone starts up. Marines trying to build a bunker on the high ground. And it is, of course, just drones behind this. Dark's, Roaches, and Ravagers rallying in behind. It looks like those units were blocked. Did he morph a Ravager somewhere blocking his units? I don't know. Roaches dancing in and out a little bit, trying to get some damage. I like that bile. Going to make it very hard to repair. And, of course, focusing their repairing SCVs as well. A couple Marines and a Reaper, not a lot of damage output there. But as the Cyclones come out, they should shut this down quite hard. Nice save on the reactor. Dude, saving the reactor is massive. This is actually really good for Bunny. Oh, Bunny's almost losing a Cyclone, though. He does have to be a little cautious. SCV pops out, is going to try and escape. 3 Marines, 2 Cyclones, and a Reaper. The Reaper does go down. He's healing his roaches with Ravager. Dark's Ravager micro is very good. The fact that he's maintaining this pressure is great. SCVs need to repair that other Cyclone. And this Cyclone needs to just kind of use his own lock-on as best he can. But look at the micro, the way Dark lands hits every time. Wow. Really, really great just execution by Dark to make this so frustrating for Bunny to get back down to the natural. And Bunny doesn't have a 3rd command center. So this actually hurts him even more. Viking will eventually take out that Overlord, but I think he's going to get the reactor. Wow, I thought it was defended, but remember that the new Cyclone is nowhere near as good at stomping these pressures as the old one. Oh, Bunny loses Alien as well. It's very awkward micro in these scenarios. Now that the Overlord's gone, makes it a bit harder. Dark should probably go home, bringing the Overlords back as well. Notice he sent all these Overlords home because he doesn't want that Viking to get any free kills. Now, Dark moves out to take a 3rd base. He's got 4 Overlords on the way. Oh, his Ravagers ran back in. That was not a good idea. That was a very bad idea, in fact. Gotta get out of here. 3rd hatchery goes down. 4 more Roaches building. They'll join up with these Ravagers to be safe against the counterattack. Main and Natural are both pretty healthily mining. He does need a few more workers in that main base. And going up to 4 gases now is Dark, as he's no doubt thinking about adding that lair to go towards Roach speed. Bunny has a 3rd command center. He does need to sell this bunker, unless he's really worried about a follow-up all-in. Gets his 75 minerals back. We'll be able to use that. Viking getting itself another kill. And Viking's actually very useful against this push, just for denying the vision they get with that Overlord. that Overlord does get taken out as well. Not bad. Interestingly, Bunny's building a bunker. So Bunny's actually saying, I'm going to play a macro game because I think you're a cheesy bastard. Dark droning up. He's going double Evo. I would imagine Dark is going to go melee carapace and link speed in the near future, but you never know. Dark is a man who just figures things out as he goes, plays whatever style he feels like at the time. Careful, Dark, rallying those drones in. Oh, the Roach Ravager's just chilling there. Don't lose the drone. Ooh, get some good damage on it. Viking does save itself though, pulls back. Double upgrades on the engineering bay is there. So he's into 3 barracks, Bunny, building the reactor on the starport. He's going to go bio tank, and that makes sense because it is indeed +1 range, +1 carapace. He doesn't know that, but he's just playing very safe, saying, siege tanks are the best if they go Ravagers and Roaches. Gives me the range advantage. 4th and 5th barracks is coming in behind it. Remember, there's no cloak on this Banshee. This is just a poke into the base, see if there's anything left sticking out. With the Spore on the right side, counters this completely. If he had Cloak, he could float around the left, pick off a few drones out of range of the Spore Crawler, but without Cloak, he can't do that. Already up at about 65 workers is Dark. Bunny landing his 3rd. He's on 50 workers. Sounds terrible. It's not. I think this is still a slight advantage for Dark, just looking at the numbers. But we are about to see Terran's supply start to jump right up. He's got 5 barracks, especially once the reactors start building on the 4th and 5th. And he's got tanks for safety to kind of anchor his position as well. Problem on this map, this 3rd base is very weak to Roach Ravager because tanks on the high ground don't really defend. Tanks on the natural don't really defend because there's so much of this, just these obstacles. So your tanks don't really cover the base. Now, to be fair, if you just put everything here, it's kind of a choke point there from the left. Kind of choke points from the right, especially if you add some buildings. So I think it's good enough at defending 1-1 Roach Ravager timings. And, well, it better be good enough because Dark's just going to try to kill him. And if Dark can buy all the tanks down quickly, it's going to be huge. Bunny is going to have to pull workers to defend this. So the 101 of defending Roach Ravager 1-1 timings as Terran is it's okay to lose 20, 30 SCVs as long as you don't lose your tanks and your army. And dude, oh, he's got a changeling on his army. Come on, Bunny, you can't let that. Okay, he does clean it up. But look at this. He's thinking about moving out with his Marines. He has no idea this army's here. There's a Roach Ravager in vision. Okay, this is really big. He's got to pull the SCVs right now. He stims in front. He doesn't have combat shields just yet, but a good stim forward. 1 tank does go down. He's focusing down some of these Ravagers. Good moves, but he has to pull the workers. He's pulling the workers a bit too late. He's already lost most of his Marines. He does lose another siege tank. The Banshee, though, adding some massive damage. That combined with the Buyer, Bunny actually gets a pretty decent hold. Because remember, if you lose your damage, your out firepower, you're screwed. But because he kept a lot of his bio alive, managed to take out most of the Ravagers, that was good. Bunny, a little slow to turn around and run it away, though. There's still 2 siege tanks, not to mention, where is the Banshee? Oh, he got the Banshee with the bile? Oh, I didn't even realize he biled the Banshee down. Nice move for Dark. Dark goes 2-2, link speed. His 4th base is also getting a lot of drones on it. So even though Dark committed reasonably hard to that, he didn't actually keep committing. Even though it looks like he's still committing, he's got a big economy behind it. I wouldn't be surprised to see an infestation pit and a hive. Bunny still has to hang on, and now that he's down 20 workers, it's going to be a little rough. 3 more barracks in the main base for Bunny. I think a 2nd factory actually would have been much better than 8 racks, in my opinion, because I do think the siege tank count is pretty much everything. Overseer in the back will get cleaned up. 2-2 upgrades for both sides. They're about even. Zerg is maybe a few seconds ahead. I think Dark's still got vision in this base, yep. His changelings. Bunny hasn't been too quick at catching them. Finally, he does there with an SCV. 4th command center is building for Bunny. Oh, Bunny catches 2 Ravagers. Dark. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake for him. All right, gets himself a Roach. Doesn't lose any units. That's the sort of trades you want as Bunny. Oh, another Ravager timing. There's not many units at home. Oh, dude, this is such a random timing. It's going to catch him off guard. He's waiting for link speed to try and tank it. Bunny is going to see it coming. That tank is way too far forward. The rest of his army comes out now, but he's already got his tanks getting biled. 1 tank on the left dies, 1 tank on the right dies. The Marine Marauder's doing okay, but they're only guarding 1 tank on that right side. Oh, his other tank is so far back. Bunny just did not expect to get hit right here, right now. He had the numbers, I think, to defend if he was perfectly positioned. But of course, he was not perfectly positioned. He didn't know it was coming. 4th command center gets cancelled. He loses complete control of this area. And Dark taking excellent trades. Look at those biles spreading across. Gets a medevac kill. And he's just happy to keep trading because he knows this is amazing for him. Hive's on the way. 2-2 upgrades finishing for Zerg. I wouldn't be surprised to see Melee queuing up in a moment. And Bunny at this point is pretty much done in this game. He'd gone for that earlier CV scout. Would have been a bit easier to defend if he had, say, an early bunker up to defend those 5 roaches. But easier said than done. Marine Marauder SCV trying to survive. He's got 2 tanks on the high ground. Does barely dodge those biles at the last second. The Ravager count is insane. Oh my gosh, the Ravager count is crazy. There's just endless biles. You can't dodge them all. Look at that. He's even going to kill the command center. Oh my gosh. That's a dead command center, that is. Let's see Bunny try and dodge biles with a burning command center. There ain't no way. And it does go down. In the north, double drop does counterattack, comes in, but not even able to kill that 5th base. Dark is all over it. Dark's barely spread creep this game. He does not care about creep spread. He's like, dude, that's the least important thing. I just need to kill you. I'm never going to have the creep inside your base anyway, and all the fighting this game is going to be inside your base. Marine Marauder Siege Tank absolutely ripping the Ravagers apart in the skirmish. But in the big picture, there's 1,000 more Ravagers to replace them. It does not matter. Dark is making a North America of Ravagers there. He's going to drop that fiery acid all over his opponent. Lings and Ravagers trying to flank around from the right side. +1 melee might not be there just yet, but it doesn't matter because the Ravagers blanket everything in Corrosive Bile. Bunny doesn't have the numbers, and Dark with a classic bit of a gamble. The Lambo 5 Roach pressure, but he gets an advantage, follows it up with a 1-1 Roach Ravager attack, and then a Roach Ravager attack plus Zerglings catching Bunny with his pants down. Nice game 2 to tie up the series for Dark. All right, that was a nice comeback there for Dark. Game 2, just a clean game. Good aggressive one. He goes back to hatch gas pool now. Bunny, you think he might scout after the way the last game went? Nope. Nope, no SCV scout. He says, nope, I want my opening to be as efficient as possible. And fair enough, I don't think he was that far behind against after the 5 Roach pressure. It wasn't a great spot to be in. He definitely could have maybe microed his Cyclones just slightly better. But Dark's micro was on point in those scenarios. 2 Queens and 6lings on the way for Dark. Always feel like 6lings is more than you need against the Reaper, but he should be able to not lose any Zerglings while waiting for the Queens as a result of that extra investment. Oh, he's got to pull back the weak one, though. Stays a bit too long. Bunny already taking down one of those Zerglings. And good enough. Dark only losing 1 Zergling. Is that double inject? Wow. He just double injected. Dark not spreading creep. Okay. Normally, if I see no creep early on, I'm usually expecting a little bit of a Ling flood, but Ling speed's not early this game. It's an interesting change up for Dark. Just gonna drop that creep a little bit later. Yeah, bizarre build order. Reaper's gonna rotate into the main base. Queen and Zerglings are ready to deal with it. Gonna go back, gets a creep tumor on the natural. Lings and Queen ready to defend it. Inject in the main base. Double gas once again. It looks like a 2-base timing for Bunny. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's already probably got his eyes on the siege tank positioning down here that so many players absolutely love. That being said, with Dark taking this as his 3rd, 4th up here, I would imagine. Might get his creep pretty far out to defend this. Oh, Marauder. That's a fake, right? He's just going to swap after Viking and go Banshee? Oh no, he does cancel Stim and make Concussive. Interesting. That might actually be real. Maybe it was just a misclick. Notice he's not building SCVs right now. Oh, Bunny's basically going all in on Marauder Hellbat. Dark's famous for having crap openings, but he's going Roach Warren, which absolutely shuts this down if you have enough Roaches. I don't know if this is a good choice from Bunny. Because you know Dark is so Roach-centric. I think he's basically gambling on Dark playing Ling Bane. Dark's Ling Bane openings are very, very weak to lots of timing attacks. So I think that's what Bunny's going for. But he's drawn the short straw because this is a Dark who's already building Roaches. Kills an Overlord. Does Dark queue up more roaches? Yeah, 6 roaches. If Dark makes like 10 roaches, yeah, he's making 8. It's already shut down. Now, don't get me wrong. 8 roaches cost a lot of money. If Bunny has a smooth macro transition behind this, he can still do all right. It's going to be another medevac. So he's going to follow this up with another medevac after the first one? What in the world? It's going to be 8 Hellbats, 9 even. 3 Marauders and a Marine there. Ling's going to run in, and it will see a pretty minimalistic setup. Dark, if he pulls his queens back, he'll be good. Dark's planning his own Roachling all in. So he's gathering up his units right now. He's going to realize, oh crap, this is a Hellbat attack. But he's got 10 roaches plus queens. The Lings aren't going to be very effective. His roaches need to try and spread, as do his queens. The micro of Dark a little bit lacking in this fight. Oh man, he's trying to build more roaches right now. I actually feel like Bunny's getting a pretty good engagement. But once the Hellbats thin out, the Ling reinforce could be very effective. Nice medevac healing so far. Dark's lost every single queen. He's actually in trouble. Bunny hitting such a sharp timing. Remember, he cut a lot of workers to make this work. Cloaked Banshees in a 3rd command center coming in behind it. The medevac simply saves those units. Great choice to pull away here for Bunny. He's going to go drop the 3rd base, but there's no drones to kill there. And the counterattack is moving across the map. With the Banshee on the way, I think Bunny should be okay against this. He's going to try and go home with his army. And we've got, what, 15 roaches and mass zerglings. Wait, is Dark not re-droning at all? He's actually going all in? Oh my, if Bunny built a bunker on the high ground, I think he'd be fine. But he's trying to build it on the natural. I don't think he's realizing just how committed Dark is. Dark, the Mad Lad, has said, okay, that kind of sucked, but you know what? I'm going to counterattack and go for a big fight. It could work. Oh, you don't want to drop Marauders right on top of that, do you? Oh, a few hot pickups would be nice. A couple of the Marauders do start to go down. And Bile's getting deflected for the most part. With Banshees raining down death from above, it does feel like this is destined to be a very good army versus army fight for Bunny. On the other hand, though, oh, no, that's a good fight for Bunny. Very good fight for Bunny. Dark, he picks off a depot. He might try to get a few more over there. But you don't want to lose all these units. You got to be very careful. Units lost have 1,400 resources, 1,500 in favor of Bunny. Bunny's Banshee's trying to pick off roaches and ravages on the way home as well. Lair starting up for Dark. He does have 3 hatcheries, but he's only at 42 drones against 40 SCVs. Bunny has double upgrades and a 3rd command center on the way. The choice to counterattack there was 100% surprising, and that is its only redeeming factor. I mean, I almost called it straight up stupid. I was like, why would you counterattack here? This makes no sense. He knows you've got tons of roaches. He should be ready for it. But Dark seemed to just have that. He has that killer instinct. He senses sometimes, hey, you won't be ready for this. This might work. Let's do it. And that is not something you normally advise pro players to do, is just make some random stuff up in the heat of the moment. But if you're a hero, if you're Dark, if you're a killer instinct player who has great just intuition for the game, that's a big part of what makes you a difficult opponent. And so it would be very incorrect for me as an analyst of the game and to just say, well, that's always bad. That's the wrong way of playing. Some people would call it the wrong way of playing for sure. The more conservative player base would definitely say that. But these guys find ways of making it work. Dark, though, does find himself behind right now. Banshees get 6 drone kills. Nice micro. Gets the Banshee on the left. I thought Bunny was going to get them both out. But one Banshee does go down. We've still got a landed Viking, 5 Marauders, and a Marine in this double medevac drop, guys. He's still going to try and utilize this to pick off some queens here or there. Doesn't get bonus damage versus any of these units, though. Pretty good hot pickups. Should go home and repair that, to be fair, though. Bunny's perfectly fine in the macro game. I just don't know if he realizes that. He should. I mean, he sees a 3rd with no gases and not that many workers. It's not like this is oversaturated. So I think you got to realize, like, hey, man, I'm on 5 racks. I've got a 3rd landed that's full. Cool. Let's make a 4th base. You know, let's get a 2nd factory. Let's keep pumping Marines. The thing is, Bunny is much like Clem, a player who basically only feels comfortable when he's attacking. Like, Bunny just trying to defend and tread water in a game is not really a player that exists. It's not that he's good or bad at it. It's just he just doesn't do it. He's always thinking about the next moment when he can kill his opponent in the game. The closest thing to defensive macro that Bunny plays, where he's just like getting to the next stage, is when he's dropping you in 3 places at once. Because he's not looking for a specific kill timing. He's just trying to find openings wherever they may be. But Bunny is he's not a late game player at all. He can obviously he can play it. Pros all can play late game. It's not like he just has no idea what the pieces do. But he's so good at winning in the mid game. I don't know if he'll be as good as someone like Dark, who, don't get me wrong, Dark's more of a mid-game guy as well. Dark is so good at just surviving and dragging games out, even when most players would say he should have already lost. Medevacs are going to go home. I'd love to see those repair up. Replace the Marauders with Marines, a unit that has more raw damage. The bunker on the third makes Bunny look a little bit paranoid, in my opinion. He's up 20 army supply. He's only down a few workers, which when you've got mules as well is great. But I love that choice for Bunny. 4th command center. 4th command center straight into +2 weapons. I think Bunny's in a very good position. If he was playing any other Zerg, I'd say they're really screwed. It's Dark and he's building Infestors though. Dark with Infestors has the ability to always get back in the game. Still hasn't repaired these medevacs. Yeah, that's the one thing I'd be very critical of Bunny for here, but he's finally going to send some Marines forward with medevacs on the middle. Chat says, oh, we actually think Bunny's late game is really good. We don't get to see it that much. But I do remember he beat Shin in late game, in one game at Katowice. So it's not like it's bad. It's just so rare. +2 carapace, +1 melee, baneling speed on the way. Feels kind of like Bunny's forcing the issue. Bunny really wants to force this fight. He's got to be careful. He sees the fungal. You cannot get caught by fungal if you spotted it this far ahead. But oh, Dark just sends 50 lings across to the third base. And you're going to see Bunny splits his army pretty quickly. But if his army on the front gets jumped on, that could be a big problem. 5 SCVs going down. A lot of bio does go home. Bunny needs to get out of here. Bunny needs to get out of here. Dark's going to jump on this, I'm pretty sure. Burrowing Zerglings in the natural out front and in the third. Oh, Bunny, you got to leave more units. Oh, Bunny. He's so paranoid about his army getting jumped on the front because he knows that's what Dark would like to normally do in this scenario. But he dodges, only loses 1 Marauder. And he does have a chunk of bio there. Lings on Burrow in multiple worker lines, but a few Marines and Marauders in the natural, plenty in the third. More Lings running back in on the top side. No medevacs actually healing that bio, but it should still be enough units with their firepower to defend that. Bunny trying to come in the front. Another great fungal ambush with the Ravagers. Dark supply is really bad though. He's denying the 4th from landing and he's making it a little bit annoying for Bunny. But Bunny is up 40 army supply. Dodges the fungal. The tanks are in range. Dude, Bunny might eliminate Dark right here. This game will decide who gets another chance in the deciding match and who is eliminated in the very first group stage of the GSL. It'd be a huge sadness for either side. But oh, Banelings! Nice SCV pull for Bunny. Banelings gonna burrow on top of the siege tank. That is hilarious. Oh, he's not watching, so those Banelings could even detonate potentially. In the natural, SCVs are fighting. Bunny is so focused on the front. A lot of his Marines have been left behind though. Oh, he's a bit far in front of his tanks. Oh no, Bunny caught not watching for a second there. He's still got so many Marines, but they're moving around the right side. Bunny, what are we doing, Bunny? Bunny! Oh my god, his Marines are not with his tanks or medevacs right now. Bunny! Oh my god, his Marines aren't there. The Blinding Cloud flank comes in. The Marines finally move back here, but already the biles are cleansing. A few of the siege tanks, not all of them. A few of the tanks somehow do survive. I don't know how. 2-2 for Bunny. 1-1-2 upgrades for Dark. The Banelings getting on top. Oh my lord. Bunny just getting picked apart by Dark here. It was all those run-bys and burrows. You can tell Bunny hasn't even reset his mining. He could have calmed down and reset, but he felt like, no, I'm all in. His 4th command center is just sitting there. He wasn't rebuilding workers. He wasn't building a wall off on his natural. And Bunny just kind of got tunnel visioned. Dark did what he does best. He made his opponents stiffen up in their plays, stop being flexible, start being panicked, and start making mistakes. And that is Bunny here with a massive advantage in the game. Now he's way behind in terms of economy. He's still got a scary army. Does take out a hatchery in the south. But Dark is on 4 bases mining. He should rebuild his 5th. And with that 20 worker advantage, Adrenal, +3 carapace, +2 melee, you know, Dark's going to be closing that gap very quickly. Viper's on the way for Dark as well. So 2 Infestors, 1 Viper. I do love that so many Zergs are so good at using dual spellcaster these days. Took us a long time to get to this point in StarCraft, but people are finally just very comfortable using both. He's going to try and bile these medevacs. No. Very rare for Dark to not go for the Hail Mary shot. 4th command center finally morphing. Still not many SCVs building. A few SCVs do start up. No +3 attack on the way for Bunny, which means he's stuck on 2-2. +3 Carapace, on the other hand, is only about a minute and a half away. Ultra Cavern on the way there for Dark. Top left, Medevac pulling away. Dark takes the 6th base on the Rich Gas base. Bunny is going for one big giant 4-base all-in now. He's not building workers. He's not making upgrades. He's going to try and find a way to push, but he hasn't moved out with his tanks yet. And that worries me as a Bunny fan. It feels like he's kind of economically, he's not rebuilding, he's not upgrading, but he's also not pushing even though he's maxed. And you really need to choose one or the other. Either you got to build more SCVs and upgrades for the long game, but he's just on 8 racks, 1 factory, 7 racks even. He's actually down a racks from what you'd normally be on. But he's just kind of harassing with some drops. And he will pull over there. Parasitic Bomb will damage these medevacs, but they should both barely escape. Never mind. Apparently that first medevac was below 120 life. Okay, I thought it had about 130. Oh, Fungal to take out the medevacs. Nice move. Tries to Hail Mary shot those as well. Dark's having fun right now. Bunny's moving forward with turrets? What is this? I guess he's worried about Infestors and Burrowed Banelings, guys, but this feels a bit too cautious for Bunny in this game. Now with +3 Carapace finished, Dark can keep counterattacking with Lings like he's been doing all game long. That's going to find the value. That third is undefended. He's even morphing Banelings for the future waves. Bunny sees it now. A massive section of red units running into that base. And he's going to try and move down with some bio. He's got a tank on the high ground, but oh me, oh my, that is just so many Zerglings. A lot of bio runs back to defend. Remember, +3 Carapace paying dividends for Dark. And Dark, I mean, it wouldn't be a Dark series if he wasn't so close to dead the entire time. And he's still not out of the woods. He's still got to deal with a giant hyper-maxed army from Bunny. 150 army supply to his 128. But I think with dual spellcasters, Banelings, Creep, and Ravagers, he's got plenty of tools to buy time for himself. Oh, that's a good parasitic bomb, man. Banelings hitting the bio. Medevac's getting hit by double parasitics. Getting popped there little by little. He's going to move south. Marine Marauder taking out the drones. The hatchery will be next. 16 Ravagers seems like a little bit much in my opinion. Look at this, guys. Another mass Ling run by going around the north. Sends them in a bit too early, though. Chadhammer number 2 does re-siege on the high ground. Bunny's stuck on 4 bases, 42 workers, no +3 attack against the Zerg that's about to be on 3-3. Ravager, Ling, Bane coming in, but not the area where Dark wants to fight. Good choice to pull back, and Ultralisk does get popped there by the Marine Marauder. Mass Ling Bane rolls in on the 3rd, though. Clearing the SCVs, trying to get up the ramp. Oh my god, the depots get up at the last second, but only just in time. That Ling Bane counterattack is massive. 6th base on the Rich Gas goes down for Dark, but he is knocking Bunny back to only 1 effective base of mining. It's this base on the right side with the Planetary at it. Burrowing Zerglings all over the place, tearing the wall down. Bunny's going to try and shove forward, but oh, he doesn't have enough medevacs there. He saves some of the units, but one of the medevacs unable to pick up in time. The other one's getting hit by Parasitic Bomb. He's going to lose a few more units in that medevac as it does go down. And it feels like Dark has money in the bank. He's got all the tools he needs. And it's on Bunny to force this awkward position into a victory. Dark has bases in the very top and the very bottom. And he's very much chilled out and just kind of working his angles, constant run-bys, constant backstabs, and saying, hey, Bunny, I know you're a Terran player. And this is actually a good lesson for everyone out there. Doesn't matter if you're playing TvT, Zerg versus Terran, or Protoss versus Terran. Anytime you're versing Terran, Terran is a race who likes to set up their artillery, set up their spread, take a really nice angle, and then bait you into fighting them by moving forward with small squads of Marine Marauder. Your job is to do anything you can to avoid and postpone fighting that fight. Don't give them the fight that they're so desperately hunting for. Notice Dark goes in, drops some spells, engages a little, just pulls back. Goes in, pulls back. Goes in, pulls back. He's making Bunny push away from his siege tanks, push away from his amazing position. He's saying, you have to come to me, and now you're deep on creep. Okay, now I can fight. Now you're away from your tanks. Like, and even then he sees the tanks coming forward. He just drops bios, pulls back. The bio is going to get overstimmed. The tanks are not really part of the fight. Banelings! Massive Baneling connections on Bunny. And that's it. You just drag his attention out. There's a Ling run by that distracted him as well at the exact same time, allowing those Banelings to connect. And Dark expertly denying the Terran from taking the fight that they want. The tanks are slowly marching forward. The turrets are slowly marching forward. And Dark is simply never fighting in range of them. The command center can't even land there. It's just one base of mining and desperate 2-2 Marine Marauder tank coming across. The Ultraling Bane Ravager comes in. The Blinding Clouds are absolutely monstrous. And he's going to try and stutter into a corner, but Bunny is all but dead in this game as the huge Zerg army counterattacks across the map. Bunny not willing to give up yet. He had a big advantage in this game, but he got a bit too stiff in his play. It reminds me of a Ryung vs. Dark game from about a year and a half ago I cast in WTL on, I think it was Romanticide or one of those maps, and it was a similar scenario where it looked like the Terran had a massive army supply advantage, but they kept trying to put their whole army into one big push, and Dark just kept going around and counterattacking and just pulling up, giving up ground slowly, refusing to fight on their terms, and you can see it probably in the units lost tab as well. The fact that he's only down 2,000 resources lost when the Terran was always with a much bigger army than him, that just shows that he really expertly expanded away and played that exactly as he had to. Very well played by Dark. Once again, punches his way out of the grave. GG, well played.